It really seemed like the BABIP gods wanted the Angels to win today, but they didn't. Once the seventh inning rolled around, they switched allegiances to the Mariners. This is the Locked On Mariners postgame show. Colby, hit it.
You are Locked On Mariners, your daily Seattle Mariners podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Ahoy, sailors. It is Wednesday, April 30th, 2025. This is Ty Gonzalez and Colby Patnode for the Locked On Mariners post-game show, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. This episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use the promo code Locked On MLB. That's LOCKEDON MLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. And as always, if you want to hear from me and Colby even more and help support the show, you can check out our Patreon. All you have to do to check that out is click the link in the description of this episode. Mariners have swept the Angels in 2 games with a 9-3 win today to secure their 7th series victory in a row. And they do it on the back of a 6-run 7th inning today. They are 18-12 after this game to finish out the month of April. They are all alone at the top of the AL West. If you're a fan of hard hit balls, this game wasn't for you. The Mariners had 4 of them. The Angels had 7 of them. Despite the combined 11 hard hit balls, though, there were 22 combined hits in this game.
12 runs scored.
The BABIP gods had a lot of influence over this game, and it felt, again, like I said in the cold open, that they really wanted the Angels to win this game at first. For about the first 6 innings, it really felt like this game was going to go in the Angels' way for the most annoying possible reasons. And then it just flipped in the bottom of the 7th. This game was tied 3-3. The Mariners rattled off 6 runs, and it started with a couple of infield singles. Infield single from Leo Rivas and a running bunt single from Samad Taylor, making his season debut with the M's today. And once again, the Mariners just kind of carrying this next man up mentality in light of all the injuries that they've accrued. And they've accrued 2 more since we last talked to you guys on this show. Get more into that on tomorrow's show, by the way. We'll talk about the injuries. We have a lot to go over, especially with the off day tomorrow. So we'll get into that on tomorrow's show. But for now, let's talk about this game, Colby. And tell me what you thought about that crazy 6-run 7th inning for the Mariners.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. I mean, the Mariners hadn't really generated much offense, and after they had an opportunity to blow the game wide open in the second, Tyler Anderson really settled in and was just incredible at avoiding hard contact. Like you said, the Mariners only had 4 hard hit balls this entire game. And so we get to the 7th, and the Angels, I mean, Legumina had just, kind of survived nearly another blow up inning on his part. And then it's just infield single, pass ball, single pass to drawn in infield. Then it was the one hard hit ball of the entire inning, just a line drive to dead center field to score JP. And then it was just more, it's just one of those things where there's kind of a snowball effect here. Some walks mixed in there. And at the end of the day, they scored 6 runs on one hard hit ball in 1 inning. And it made, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim kind of look like the 2013 Astros led by center fielder Brandon Barnes. So yeah, sometimes you have to create your own luck because you're not going to get it from, the baseball gods or whatever. Sometimes you got to step up like LJ Hose and just put a ball in play and see what happens. But yeah, it's just one of those games where sometimes baseball can be cruel and amazing and beautiful all in the same game. And for the first 6 innings, that was pure torture. And then the 7th inning kind of blossomed into what Jose Altuve would eventually become after a very mediocre start for the 2013 Astros. So yeah, it was a fun game. It was a weird game. But at the end of the day, it's a 2-game sweep of the team I hate more than any other team in baseball. So I will gladly take it. And it's just a weird game. filled with like a lot of microcosms for how the Mariners season has gone thus far, from, these no-name players coming up and contributing to Julio accidentally diving under a ball that would have hit him and then getting up to score the run. Like that ball was the injury bug, except for it, it's hit the Mariners, but like Julio diving under is them still winning. This team is 6 games over 500. They have one of the best records in baseball. And when you look at the list of players who are either on the IL or who have been hampered by injury thus far, it really is insane that they've done it. And they've done it because the pitching's been so good, because the bullpen's been amazing. They just kind of grinded through this thing and tried to come out the other side of it. That's what happened in the 6th inning. So, or 7th inning. So it is kind of a microcosm of the entire season, but I mean, it is also, we should be fair, it is also a little bit the Angels suck. They're not exactly running a bunch of Jimmy Paredes and Trevor Crows out there, much like the 2013 Astros. But it's not a good team. Wrong with you, man? It's not a good team, right? And you had to take advantage of it. But what's interesting about this is you scored 9 runs, and you scored them against Tyler Anderson, who's probably going to be the Angels All-Star. I mean, Mike Trout probably wins a fan vote, but whatever, right? Like,
sure,
the real All-Star for this team probably going to be Anderson. And then you scored 5 off of Detmers, who was actually throwing the ball really well this year in his first year out of the bullpen. So, again, like a lot of this is luck. What happened in the 7th inning is luck, but a lot of that is just grinding through at bats and giving yourself an opportunity to be in this spot. And you can do that because the Mariners run well. They grind through at bats. They work counts.
Yeah. Once again, the Mariners offense being annoying, like we talked about yesterday.
It's just a pest. They're a pest. And it's just, even when you don't have the big guys coming up with huge hits, they find a way to contribute in the bottom of the order. I mean, Samad Taylor was terrible in his first couple at bats.
Yeah.
He not really good in his last at bat, but that one at bat in the middle where he found a way to get on base and kind of use his speed really helped you win this game. And it's just kind of done. They call up Rivas, he finds a way to help. They call up Taylor, he finds a way to help. The way every time they've gone to their depth, these guys have stepped up and found a way to contribute. And we saw that again in the 7th inning. So in a lot of ways, that 7th inning is the microcosm of the Mariners' entire first month. And it's probably going to have to continue to be like that for at least the time being, because the Mariners, as awesome as this is and as great as it is that they're stacking these wins right now, they're going to need to, because at some point the weight is going to become too great. And you just hope that by that point, some of these guys that you're missing will be back. But for now, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to watch this team find different ways to win.
Yeah. Well, and also like we talked about yesterday, maybe once, some of these guys that are contributing right now towards the bottom of your lineup start to regress. We're already seeing it a little bit with Ben Williamson, Randy and Julio, that kind of coincides with them breaking out a bit more, especially Julio, right? And Julio with a big double today. Randy with the home run off of Tyler Anderson to get the scoring going for the Mariners. So hopefully those things kind of just, line up like we talked about yesterday. I'm still not over all these 2013 Astros references, though. Are you sure you don't want to get like a Carlos Corcoran reference in here, or like a Marwin Gonzalez or a Jonathan VR? Remember our Jonathan VR meme?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
sure.
Check. Yeah.
No, I'm good.
All right. You ran out of gas?
I guess we'll find out.
All right.
Right after this.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit more about how the Mariners offense fared against Tyler Anderson, another tough lefty that they faced, and they've been able to get to at least a little bit. Go over that in just a moment. But first, a reminder, this episode of the Locked On Mariners podcast is brought to you once again by Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you stop just managing your money and start building wealth. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals. Managing money with your partner is smoother than ever. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page without the stress. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use promo code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. And you're listening to the Locked On Mariners post-game show following the Mariners 9-3 win over the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, aka the Donald Angels, as we love to call them over on the CTZ podcast. Tyler Anderson goes 6 innings in this one, 2 earned runs, 3 runs total on 4 hits, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. Give up the home run to Randy Arozarena. That was one of just 2 hard hit balls that Anderson surrendered to Mariners hitters in this game. Again, like I said, hard contact wasn't a big part of this game. But the Mariners were able to get 3 runs. Again, 2 of them earned off of another tough lefty. It looked like they were actually going to be able to get him out of this game a bit earlier than what he wound up going. They did have a bases loaded opportunity there, but Julio got sawed off and popped up to the second baseman to end that threat. Was that the 3rd inning or the 2nd inning? Yeah. But overall, did fine against a guy that's probably going to be an all-star this year. How did you feel they fared against Anderson today?
It was a bit of a mixed bag. Again, there were certainly some good points, but there was certainly some really poor at bats and some missed opportunities. So not one of their best efforts, but again, Anderson's a pretty good pitcher. We know that the Mariners lineup versus right-hand or left-handed pitching doesn't inspire a lot of confidence because obviously Polo's not in there. You have Cal hitting from his weak side. It's not great. As much fun as Leo Rivas has been, still like Rivas is in the lineup, which I guess the alternative now, at least for the next week or so, is Miles Mastrobuoni. So, but no Dylan Moore even today, who's been crushing lefties. So overall, I would say it was okay. It was a grind. Again, he really started to cruise after that 3rd inning. So not many quality at bats 3rd through the 6th inning. So it's a bit of a mixed bag today for the offense against Tyler Anderson. Again, couldn't really chase him, couldn't take advantage of the few opportunities that they had. Basically, the only thing they did pretty well in this game is they avoided the strikeout, and Randy didn't miss the mistake.
Yep.
And those are really what they capitalized on. In addition to some, weirdness, let's say. I mean, Cal walking and then stealing second, stealing third, getting hit in the head, dome shot, and still getting up to score. Like, there's some randomness, but yeah, I would say against Anderson was really good. And again, as we know, as Mariner fans who watch this guy pitch, he's really well built to perform well at T-Mobile Park. It's a ballpark that he should thrive in. And so,
if he wasn't making so much money, I'd be like, that's the guy that I want them to target this summer.
I mean, I think he's in the last year of his deal, isn't he?
Yeah, so maybe I don't think the Angels would eat money to help you.
I mean, well, I don't think the Angels would trade you anybody, even though they should, because again, they're not the 2013 Astros, but they might be the 2014 Astros.
But yeah, Anderson's such a good fit for the ballpark, though. So yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking when watching him today. I was like, man, I wish he wasn't making that much money. But yeah, so this is a funny tweet from Circling Seattle Sports. Victor Robles just came into the post-game interview room with a broom and his Hello Kitty bucket hat, yelling, "Hello, everybody. It's a sweep." Then he rushed Mariners manager Dan Wilson in by saying, "Dan, they're waiting for you." God, I miss that guy. Yeah,
unfortunately, not going to see him for a week. I doubt he travels with the club down to Texas and Sacramento. But yeah, that guy's funny. And, it's days like today where you miss him because, again, he hits lefties and he also is an agent of chaos. And we haven't seen a ton of chaos ball from the Mariners. until the 7th inning today. Then we saw about a week's worth. So
a big part of this, and you mentioned it a little bit earlier on, was Legamina being able to get out of that jam that he ultimately created for himself. But getting out of that thing unscathed kind of set the stage. I mean, that was the top half of the 7th, and then things just went completely in the other direction from that point forward. So that was kind of a huge moment, like a turning point in this game, Legamina being able to get out of that inning. So yeah. But once again, it was leading up to that 7th inning, really annoying game to watch whenever Emerson Hancock was pitching. His stat line today doesn't really tell the full story. We'll get into that in just a moment. But first, a reminder, this episode of the Locked On Mariners podcast is brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios.
Looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious? Crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller longer. Personally, I love the no shells variety. It's the perfect grab and go snack for busy days. Whether I'm snacking at my desk or on a road trip or just need a quick protein boost, they're always my go-to. And if you love cracking open every shell for that satisfying crunch, the in-shell options are a classic favorite. Get snackin' and get crackin' with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more.
You're listening to the Locked On Mariners post-game show following the Mariners 9-3 win over the Angels. Emerson Hancock started this game. He throws his second consecutive quality start. 3 earned runs on 9 hits, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. Give up a home run to Jorge Soler that left in a hurry. But that was one of just 4 hard hit balls given up by Hancock today. Again, Hancock's stat line doesn't tell the full story. I felt like he was pretty solid today. Just a lot of BABIP luck going in the Angels' favor. How did you feel about his day?
Definitely a lot of BABIP luck. Bad BABIP luck. That's for sure.
Yeah.
His stuff also wasn't very good, and I didn't feel like his command was very good, particularly of the fastball in the two-seamer.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't what we saw in Fenway.
No, he wasn't. I don't think he was all that sharp. I think he was facing a bad lineup in a good park, yet he was also getting BABIP'd and had some bad luck. So he had some good luck in terms of he had a lot of fastballs run back over the middle of the plate early in this game, and he got away with it. But he also gave up 6 bleeders, and including one grounder that literally rolled on top of the third base bag on a check swing. And so, it was kind of a weird outing for him. He didn't miss any bats, which isn't that surprising. But again, I don't think his fastball control and command was all that good. So in a way, he got lucky. In another way, he got incredibly unlucky. So, it's kind of one of the stuff was moving so much today that it didn't feel like he could really command it that well. Now he started to dial it in a little bit later. We saw him actually backdoor or front door the two-seamer a couple times the way he's supposed to. But a lot of the times he was starting on the outside corner. It was running back into the middle of the plate, and it created a lot of jam shots that dropped for singles. So it's not a good pitch, but it's not an unfair result. But it was just a weird day for him because again, I feel like his stuff and with his control that he had today, he should have gotten hit pretty hard, but he didn't, and yet he still gave up 3 runs. It's just weird. You can't.
So it kind of feels like it balanced itself out. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, this is one of those games where you really can't box score scout because you look at the box score and you would say oh man, he was either good or bad today, kind of depending on what you want to look at. But when you watch the game, again, not a lot of hard contact, but a lot of bad misses with the sinker in particular, a lot of pitches that ran back towards middle in. And thankfully the Angels just weren't capable really of making him pay for it. So it was a bit of good luck, a bit of bad luck. Overall, number 5 starter. It was one of those games. Looked like Brad Peacock. You guys remember him? Looked like a young Jordan Lyles.
There we go.
Maybe a 23-year-old Jordan Lyles who may or may not have pitched for the 2013 Astros. Just kind of a Chad innings eater type of outing for him.
You know who else pitched for the 2013 Astros? Eric Bedard.
Yeah, he did. He started opening day. Yeah, I believe he was throwing a no-hitter through 6 on ESPN, if I'm not mistaken. Or was that the game that Marwin Gonzalez botched the ground ball in the ninth.
Like, I would remember a game from 2013 that the Mariners didn't play in.
I don't know. I know a lot about the early 2000s Tampa Bay Rays, so. But anyways, whatever.
If we had more time, I'm sure. If we had more time, I'm sure you would let us all know about the early Rays teams.
Oh, we got time. We're only 20 minutes in.
Big
so the thing about those teams, yeah, I thought he was basically a number 5 starter today, which is fine. Like, that's totally fine. That's what you should expect Emerson Hancock to give you. That's really all you can expect him to give you right now. And with the way the offense is rolling, it's really all you need him to give you. I honestly, I felt kind of like this start and Logan Evans' first start pretty similar in the fact that there were just moments where you're like, got away with that or whatever. But that happens to every pitcher. There's always a couple pitches that you're like, ooh, that was not great. But you can get away with it less when you have the stuff that Hancock does, where it's just like you get away with one pitch, you feel like you got away with a lot. But again, give him credit. He did pitch into a couple of jams that he got himself out of. Probably one of the more underrated moments of the game is when Mike Trout got lifted, and instead of runners on first and second, when Mike Trout ended up being Joe Adele, which is scary for a different reason.
Because he's only good against the Mariners.
Not this series, but yes.
Yeah.
Statistically, yes.
I mean, he did have a single in this game. Off of Legumina. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what started that whole thing against Legumina.
Yeah. So overall, stuff wise, Hancock, like, his ceiling on stuff is always going to be what we saw in Boston, which is like 55. But today, stuff wise, he was a 45, 50, like he normally is. Command, he was like a 35, which is usually pretty terrifying. But control, which is again just the raw ability to throw strikes regardless of where they are, he was 60. So kind of a weird outing for him. But overall, I think you have to be really happy with what he gave you. He gave you a good shot to win. Went 6 innings, which is nice. Not that you necessarily needed length out of him today, because you had the off day on Monday and you have the off day tomorrow, but whatever. Overall, Hancock, definitely a step back from what we saw on the road, but still pretty quality. Hence the quality start that was today is aptly named. Sometimes the quality start is BS and it's not a good stat, but today, felt about right.
Ricky and Keel was on that 2013 Astros team. See, now you've sent me down this rabbit hole.
So it's Brett Overholtzer.
This all started, by the way, from a pre-recording conversation that Colby and I had, where Colby wanted to take a trip down memory lane of the 2013 Astros, and I was like, no, we need to record. So who really here is the man of the people? I wanted to record to get the show out to you guys as early as possible. Colby wanted to waste time looking at the 2013 Astros.
First of all,
I'll let you decide down in the comments below.
First of all, that was a learning experience, because we need to see historically what we're up against when we compare this Angels team to other past bad teams. You know who else is on that team?
Who?
Bud Norris.
Yes.
I used to be really good with him in MLB The Show.
Nice.
Or sorry, MLB 2K12.
Right. Is that the one with Holiday on the cover?
I think that was 11.
Gotcha. Anyway,
but whatever.
So nice to see the Mariners play a game where they held a big lead. Didn't have to throw Andres Munoz or Gabe Spire today. Not that it really mattered with the off day tomorrow, but still nice to see. And again, they're 18-12 to wrap up the first full month of the regular season, all alone at the top of the AL West, despite a billion injuries to a lot of key players.
Let's see. On the IL currently, number 1 starter, number 2 starter, Gold Glove, utility man, starting second baseman, starting opening day DH. I think Rayleigh was your opening day DH. Whatever. Luke Rayleigh now on the IL. Gregory Santos supposed to be one of your setup guys. Matt Brash still hasn't pitched for you. Obviously, a premier arm there. Yeah, I mean, Ryan Bliss,
on top of that, Bryce Miller dealing with arm fatigue and now a back thing last night. Jorge Polanco literally can't swing from any side of the plate but the left.
Can't even play in the field.
Yep.
You've gotten basically nothing from your first base position although I'm sure you want 5 minutes to talk about Donovan Solano's day.
Oh yeah,
so
shame on me for completely missing that 2-hit day for Dottie Barrels.
he's up to 149 with a 333 OPS.
Chad, are we back? Are we back?
Yeah, you know, his batting average is just 9 points lower than Rowdy Tellez. Because batting average is a very important stat, I've been told.
That's right. Idiot.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other notes you want to quickly go over here before we get out? Or
yeah, probably need
everything?
to keep an eye on Ben Williamson this road trip. He had a bad homestand, and the league has definitely made an adjustment to him. Seen a lot of breaking balls right now, and so
I mean, he had a bad series. The series against the Marlins was good, but yeah.
Bad series today. You know, it's kind of looks like he's a little bit in between right now. It looks like he's recognized the adjustment that's been made against him, and he's starting to try and adjust on his own. But now he's susceptible to, you know, velocity on the inside corner. So something to keep an eye on. We knew this was going to happen. The league will adjust, and he'll have to adjust back. So the honeymoon phase for Ben Williamson might be over. He's not just getting challenged with fastballs anymore. So we'll see if he can make that adjustment and how quick he can. Samad Taylor up today. That was interesting. He made Anderson look like prime Randy Johnson there, but
interesting day for Samad Taylor.
It really was. Leo Rivas, 3 hits, no hard hit balls, continues to do what he does. And you know what? I thought Mitch Garver had a really underrated day today.
Yeah, I thought he hit that one ball out. Yeah,
wasn't that must have been the one hard hit ball he had.
Plus, who was the Campero? He kind of turned his back to the camera. I was like, oh, here we go. And then
yeah, it was weird. Didn't really feel like the ball was carrying that well today, particularly out to left field. But I mean, Randy didn't have any problem with it. But
no.
Yeah. But no, I thought Mitch actually had a really good day today. 0 for 2, but he did walk twice. He flew out to the warning track. He scored a run. He stole a base. And
yeah, that's right. He did have a stolen base.
Second stolen base of the year off of Tyler Anderson, who's one of the better pitchers at holding runners. I don't know what you run control guys.
Yeah, Cal Raleigh and Mitch Garver had stolen bases in this game.
There's the stat for Alex Mayer. Like when is the last time the Mariners had 2 catchers steal a base?
When was the last time any team had 2 catchers steal bases in the same game?
Yeah, so it was. I thought he had a really underrated day today, and he JP Crawford has been kind of like the poster child of oh, he's hot right now. Mitch Garver, he's not playing as much, obviously, but he's been really, really good since the last day in San Francisco. He's getting on base a ton. We're starting to see a little bit more power. The average is totally fine. I hope Polo is close and that he can play some second base here on the road, because it'd be nice to give Garver a few more at-bats as the DH instead of just having to wait until, you need to give Cal a blow behind the dish, because obviously you're not benching Polanco for Garver right now. But what I'm seeing from Garver, I want to see him get more at-bats against right-handed pitching because he seems to be seeing the ball really well right now.
All right, that is going to do it for us. Again, we'll talk about the injuries on tomorrow's show. Just go over the timelines for those guys, what the Mariners might have to do in their absence, all that. But for now, thank you so much for joining us here on the Locked On Mariners post-game show. For Colby Patnode, I'm Titan Gonzalez. Be sure to give us a follow on Twitter at @LO_Mariners. You can follow me at Titan Gonzalez, Colby at CPAT11, that's CPAT11. We're also on Blue Sky. You can follow me at TDG, Colby at MLB Colby, and the show at Locked On Mariners. You can also find us on Instagram at Locked On Mariners. Have yourself a beautiful baseball day, and we'll see you next time. Peace.